Welcome back, everybody. This is Michael Blvd from jurisphere.com, a legal network where we have different attorneys, different states, practice areas, asking you frequently asked questions. And here we have our guru on personal injury law in the state of Ohio, Kevin Attkisson. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Hi, Michael. Doing well, thanks. How are you?
It's good to have you back. Kevin, today I want to talk a little bit about bus accidents, okay? The first question people ask a lot is, if I'm a passenger in a bus, what happens? Who can I sue? What if I fell in a bus during a short stop, something like that? Can you tell us what are the possibilities?
Okay. If you're a passenger on a bus, first we need to determine, okay, what kind of bus is it? Here in the Dayton metropolitan area, we have our local regional transit authority. We call it the RTA, and that's just basically your public bus. If you're a passenger on the bus and you get injured in an accident, it's handled just like any other personal injury claim. But then we have to determine, one, was it the bus driver's fault, or did another vehicle crash into the bus? It makes a big difference. Okay, so we have to determine that. If it's the bus's fault, the bus driver's fault, the bus driver acted negligently somehow, caused an accident, caused you to be injured, then we can handle that claim. We bring the claim against the RTA and we handle it like a personal injury claim at that point. Okay. One issue we have a lot with buses is that if it gets into an accident, there's typically no seatbelts on these things. Okay. And we also find that with school buses and over the road buses as well. But if you're on a local RTA bus, you get into an accident, you can get hurt pretty badly, because if it's a serious collision, you can fly out of your seat, you can fly across the bus, you can suffer pretty significant injuries. So we have to make sure we account for all that. Also, everybody should know that these local RTA buses, they have cameras all over them. There's cameras inside, there's cameras outside. And we need to get access to those things pretty quickly after an accident, and we do that. Now,
you mentioned question. That's a very good point about the cameras. To get the footage, do you have to go to court first and ask for a subpoena, or you can just request the footage?
From the RTA, you can request it from them, and they're pretty good about handing it over. Okay, so we do get those, and they can show, the people moving in the bus or flying about the bus or whatever. And so we can get access to that and help substantiate, one, what happened, and two, the significance of somebody's injuries based on how they moved within the bus when the collision occurred. Okay. Now, you had mentioned earlier about a short stop. That is a bus, you're on the bus, and sometimes people actually have to stand on the bus. They don't even get a seat. Sure. And if the bus driver does a short stop, then you can fall, you can fall down and get hurt that way. Now, it depends on what caused the short stop. Okay, let's say, for instance, a bus driver is traveling along, operating the bus safely, and a pedestrian darts out in the road in front of them. Okay, the law wants the bus driver to slam on the brakes and not run over the pedestrian. Okay, so there wouldn't be liability in that situation if there was a legitimate reason for the bus driver to do a quick stop. We want them to avoid collisions. We want them to not run over children and things like that. Okay. However, let's take, for instance, that the bus driver wasn't paying attention. Okay. And the bus driver was, I'm just going to make something up here, was looking off into the distance, looking at his phone. God forbid, I would hope a bus driver wouldn't do that. Right. But let's just say something like that is happening and the bus driver is acting negligently. And then just in the normal course of driving the bus, the traffic ahead of him stops and he doesn't see it in time and has to jam on the brakes, avoids hitting the vehicle in front of him. So there's technically not a collision, but the bus driver made a short stop. I would argue that the bus driver was acting negligently and had to perform the short stop due to his negligence. So in that situation, I think we could make a pretty good argument that a short stop caused somebody to be hurt. But typically when it's a short stop for a reason, that is traffic, pedestrian, something happened in the road in front of the bus driver was otherwise acting lawfully, then there's no liability for that, unfortunately.
So it's very fact specific. So I think that's why it's important to go to an attorney who has seen these types of accidents, knows how to deal with them, and knows where to request the evidence.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I will make one more point about a public bus that's really important. The local RTA here. Sometimes you'll have an accident, and there could be, there could be 2 people on the bus. There could be 20 people on the bus,
Right.
and the police will arrive at the scene if and sometimes people don't realize they're hurt right away or whatever. But you need to make sure that you are accounted for. Okay. Now I said that we have those videos, so that's important as well. But you also want to make sure you want to stick around and make sure that that it is documented that you were actually a passenger on the bus.
That's a good point, because that's also
Yes.
another very important piece of evidence. Okay, Kevin, thank you so much for a great overview. We're making it general. We don't want to make it very legalese. But if anybody has been in a bus accident, whether you were on a bus or you were hurt by a bus, we urge you to call the law office of Kevin Attkisson to get specific advice on your situation and whether compensation is possible. Kevin, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And we're going to come back to you in our next session. We're going to talk about if you were hurt by a bus, either public bus or a Greyhound or a school bus, what happens then? What are the possible avenues for a compensation? Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.
Thank you.